The barbarians came, settled in the school and desecrated it. It is so painful that you will not believe it. When we see all these ruins, it is very painful. We had everything and suddenly there was nothing left. The school destroyed by the terrorists of Putin's army was not just an educational institution in Starosaltiv, but the best lyceum in the Kharkiv region. This school already had 5 school buses. Children from 5 settlements of the community were brought there. It was truly a hub school. All efforts were aimed at improving the material and technical base to make this institution modern, the latest computer science classrooms. This area has been developing quite actively. In particular, in recent years, equipment has been purchased for physics, geography, biology, and 2 math classrooms. We have replaced classroom furniture with modern ones. At the end of 2021, a language classroom was purchased so that children could learn foreign languages, among other things. As part of our cooperation by the American project, Good, which we won for $75,000, we have improved equipment not only for computer labs but also for computer science labs. We purchased modern webcams, which allowed us to hold various conferences and attract other educational institutions not only from the community but also from geographically distant areas. It's so touching you won't believe it. This is where we have invested not only money but also our souls. We have done everything to make this institution thrive. And when we see all these ruins now, and the fact that children and teachers were forced to leave, it's just painful to look at all this, knowing what was here and how it could have been. And what we have now. It's heartbreaking, there's no other way to put it. After the Nazi army invaded Ukraine, the basement of the Lyceum became a shelter for local residents. We heard explosions, the roof was shaking. We didn't understand anything yet, we just saw a big light on both sides of Starosaltiv. But we could not believe it. The men said it was a war, but it didn't fit in our heads. The 21st century, what war? So, this morning, apparently, this horror began. This school has large basements, which, by the way, were used by local residents as shelters during the shelling. There were a lot of people there, and the shelling was very powerful, most often mortar shelling. And it so happened that on April 30th, our troops entered there. Of course, we can't call this Russian army an army, because what was standing here ran like a pig's, apparently, frightened of all this. And, of course, you know, when our military came in, the shelling intensified even more, because they realized that our troops were here, and this is on the other side of the Siversky Donets. And, of course, more massive shelling began. We just had to leave. By May 3rd, almost the entire old Saltiv was devastated, all the people had left. Residents of Starosaltiv recall with horror and pain the explosions that destroyed the Lyceum. Starosaltiv was under occupation and shelling from the very first days, but in May 2022, when it was liberated from the occupiers, massive shelling began. And now we see what is left of this institution. This is what we have now. Iryna Glazunova worked as a junior high school teacher at Starosaltiv Lyceum. I came to a wonderful lyceum. We had everything we needed to work. We were provided with good furniture for an elementary school. Each classroom, each teacher had a laptop, printers, TVs, projectors, everything that is needed for modern education today. The children were provided with everything. This is my classroom, the math room. As you can see, what happened to it? Barbarians came, settled in the school, defiled it. And then, after our Starosaltiv was liberated, the bombing began. The place where children used to get an education and develop their talents and abilities before the war is now a total ruin. The roof was bombed, windows smashed, equipment burned. The Russian army came here. By the way, they are located in the school. When we came back here, when we were able to return, you understand that we found nothing here but these ruins. All the equipment was stolen, everything we had. We had everything, and suddenly nothing was there. The damage caused by the Russian army is estimated at millions. And how can we count the destroyed hopes and dreams of schoolchildren? The destroyed future of Ukrainian children. This is a grave, terrible crime of the racists. They destroyed the school, they destroyed the classroom. Look at what is happening around. Who will rebuild it? At what expense will it be done? Russia should give its money to rebuild such schools, educational and medical institutions. It is a pity that our school has come to this state.